sometimes it's like you sit down and you realize and you're like, well, if what would it be like not having someone there guiding you, or what would it be like not having someone there paying attention to you? And I am able to actually differentiate and see the difference between, when I was prepping myself versus just having someone there saying, hey, okay, that's good. Keep those changes. Okay, yeah, we'll adjust here. All right, no changes needed. It just keeps you and gives you that assurance to know that you're moving in the right direction, you know?
Yeah. I'd say especially those last like couple of months when you're
Yeah,
trying to really get tight, like it's just I don't know that
you can do.
yeah, that could be objective enough to carry myself the rest of the way. And I also just like to shut my brain off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
makes
because
makes things easier.
yeah, then you just have to just chop and screw, just eat and go, eat and train.
Like especially if you got other life things going on,
Yes.
right? Like you got work, you got your family or whatever else you got going on. It's like you don't want to have to focus on any of that stuff. Okay. All right, so I am here with world champion natural bodybuilder Robert Thompson Jr. Um, let's get started. So again, how are you, bro?
I'm doing well, man. I had some clients this morning, so I just got in. I know,
Okay, so
yeah, I know because I do PT like half day on Saturdays, and then like throughout the week I'll work until like later, probably like around 7 or 8. In
okay, and you're training out of is that your gym?
Yeah, so I'm one of the co-owners for a gym here on island, called
Hmm.
the Studio Cayman. So we've been open about like 5 years this year. So we started during COVID. A bunch of guys came together with like the same, vision and dream. So we just got together and just decided to go ahead and execute it. So it's
That's
been going good, because the island is small, and then we're able to actually, capitalize on like a certain demographic of people. And
hmm
all of us are, in our respective fields are part of fitness as well, because some of the guys have competed. Well, actually, all
hmm
of them have competed. So they understand, they have their own little following, and people that actually look up to them as well too.
Okay. So the city that you're in, is that like the capital maybe of the
Yeah,
Cayman Islands?
So you have three islands. So it's Cayman Islands. So you have
Hmm.
Little Cayman, Grand Cayman, and Cayman Brac. So I live on the main island, the main land called Grand Cayman. So it's small population. So we have roughly between probably 90 to 100,000. And it's like,
Oh wow.
yeah, so it's not like massive.
Ye-
So
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that small, but
yeah. But we have, different kind of ethnicities and stuff here as well too. People from all over the world come here and actually like work because we're big and known for banking and offshore
oh
businesses.
yeah, 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 I can see that.
So that's very, very popular here, especially for us, and then also tourism as well.
Okay. So um I guess in general, how have you been? Because dude, you haven't been super active, at least
No,
online.
yeah. So, like last year was kind of, funky for me. We have those years and times when things aren't at its best, but
Yeah.
this year is a new year, and then I've decided it's time to get back in the routine again. I haven't been training for a few months actually, which is weird for me, but as humans, things happen, and it's just being able to bounce back from it. But other
Was
than
it was it like life in general, or an
it's life,
injury, or life in
it's
general? Yeah,
life,
yeah, yeah,
life
yeah, yeah.
happenings, right? So, but that's part of the process, and that's how we become, who we are, and
100%.
that's how we get better. We have to go through certain things in life to actually build strength, and resilient to be resilient as well, man.
So do you feel like you're in a better headspace now?
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. Um, and I looking to probably get back on stage this year. I did mostly coaching last year. Um,
Hmm.
so trying to get my headspace around that, and that's not easy to
Yeah,
get going.
yeah.
But I did it before many times, and I know I can get back there and do it again. So, well, how are you? How's that?
I'm good, man. Like life, I can't complain really. I got married last year, so
Congrats.
life for me has been a
Yeah.
little bit of a shift, and my family's international, so getting him here, it's been a little bit of a process. But
So where are you originally from? Remind me again.
my family's from Liberia, but I was born in the States, but
Okay.
my wife and son are in Colombia.
Colombia. Okay, nice.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
went
yeah.
there 2 year, well, what's it this year? So I'd say not this Christmas that passed, but the Christmas before. So I went in for my birthday. So I was there for like
Oh,
so,
okay.
so summer. So
How'd you like it?
it's fun. It's fun, man. Yeah, it's very fun. And the culture is so different. Everything there is so cheap. Like,
Yeah,
so it's like coming from there, then coming back to the island is like a shift, right? Because of, over there, everything is like at a certain cost and you can just do more. You can do a lot more.
yeah. Get more bang for your buck. The Cayman Islands was a British colony?
Yeah, British colony. So we have our own dollar, the Cayman Islands dollar.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but it's so for it's $1 to 80 cents to the US. So for every 80 cents CI is a dollar US. So our dollar is strong. Yeah.
Yeah. And ours is not getting stronger. Ours is not the best right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, let's start talking a little bit about bodybuilding. And I don't know your full history. Like we met in 2023, and I think we ran into each other at a couple of shows. I think it was the Mr. America and then at Worlds
Girls as well.
for the WMF, and you had won two world championships that year.
Yeah, that was Mr. America, and then I had won the DFAC World Finals as well. That was
Yeah.
in Australia. Yes.
How was that?
So when I first started competing, like the first show that I actually did was the DFAC World Finals.
Okay.
And actually get like, to try smaller shows. I went straight to a world final. My first year competing, like I didn't know what to really expect. It was just more so like, someone encouraged me like, hey, you're always in the gym. You should get on stage, and then I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna wear no trunks. Like I was against
Mm,
the whole thing. And then, you know, eventually, I was like, you know what, I let me try something new because originally, I played well, you would say soccer, but I played football.
hmm
I went to school in Georgia actually. So I studied in University of Georgia State University.
Okay.
So that's where my initial love was football. I used to hate the gym, actually. It's actually funny. I ended up getting an injury to my meniscus, and the physiotherapist suggested that I end up going to the gym to strengthen my quads to be able
Mm.
to, get back to playing football. I went for like 3 weeks and I felt better, and I stopped going to the gym, and then I ended up hurting my knee again. He's like, no, you need to stay in the gym. And I was like, but I don't like it. Um, and then he was like, well, it's either that or you have to stop playing.
Yeah.
So I'm a guy that, like, once I start something, I want to know everything about it. And that's where my whole, love for the gym started. But the whole competitive side, it was just encouragement, from a guy in Cayman. He's actually like, they would consider him the godfather of bodybuilding because he's like a much older guy, but he kind of like started the whole era of bodybuilding in Cayman. He just came to me one day, suggested that I get on stage. And I said, you know what, let me give it a try. I had no idea what to do. So in relation to like dieting, I just had my general way of training. Like I always loved training hard and heavy. I'm a big fan of like, training and powerlifting style, but with reps, so I
hmm
always aim for like heavier movements. It just gets me going versus, just having a general hypertrophy um um
Training plan.
training plan.
Yeah.
Um yeah, and then I got on stage. I did my first show in 2018. I came third in the overall in the amateurs, and then I won the heavyweights that year,
2013?
2018.
Oh, 18. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was like, what was I thinking about? I was like, I know, I'm pretty sure you're younger than me. Like
Yeah,
at least by a year or two. I was like, what?
2018.
Okay.
Then I won the heavyweights, and then I came third in the overall. And then that's when the spark started, you know. Um, they came back telling me what I needed to improve on. And then I just got so obsessed with, food and training. And
Hmm.
next year I brought like a insane, physique, well, conditioning wise, because I have the shape and the conditioning. And I
Hmm.
won my pro card the next year with the physique. When I came back, it was just like, wow, everyone was just, you make small improvements as you get going, but I was like, it went from night to day, like it was
Yeah.
you know. And then that's where things like went uphill for me. In 2020, I that was COVID, so I didn't compete that year. That's actually when we started to look into getting the gym going. So we started in 2021, but it was already in the works of our planning for 2020.
Hmm.
And 2022, I had competed. So the guys from the UK were coming down. So like Nathan Williams, like he's a really good friend of mine as well too. So they were having the Worlds and came on that year. And
Hmm.
one of the event organizer was like, look, we can't have just all, foreign athletes. We need you to get in shape. And I had I think like 12 weeks or 13 weeks to just put together something.
Jeez.
And I was like literally coming out of like a really bad state. I was like, super depressed and down. So I was nowhere into didn't have the
Hmm.
headspace. And that actually got me out of it. So just to show
Having
you
a
how,
goal.
yes, just to show you how strong, having a goal and just having the gym in your life, like it just changed your whole perspective and reflects
Yeah.
will make you learn a lot about yourself, and finding ways to get out of holes, funky holes, and being able to just see the light again. And that year I came second in the DFAC Worlds. That was my first pro show. So Nathan won that year. I came second to him, and then I went.
I actually feel like you two have like kind of similar structures.
Yeah.
Like it's real
A
dope.
lot of people say that even at the Mr. America, like they didn't know who I was that year. And like in even the commentary, they were like, he looks so similar to Nathan, you know.
Yeah.
That from he is a big inspiration for me. So like, you have these guys that you look up to, and he's been in the circuit for a long time. He's been competing from he's like 16, I think, or 17. So he's developed the maturity, and his dedication to the sport is very admirable. Um,
Yeah.
so like for me, like that's also a reminder to keep going because the skies are the limit, right?
Yeah.
Uh, the 2022, I think, where you no, I went to WNBF Worlds that year. And then I had won
The
the
first time you went?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I,
when I won the heavyweights that year.
okay. And got your pro card.
I got my pro card, and then 2023 was my best year. So I went to Mr. America. I won Mr. America in 2023.
Hmm.
I won the Cayman show, the Muscle Mayhem. Then I went to Australia and won the DFAC World Finals in Australia. And then I came fourth in WNBF Worlds in the pros. That's when Brian DaCosta won that year. But
That was 23, right?
yeah, 23. No,
Yeah.
20, was it 23? Yeah,
Yeah, I think so.
23. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was for me as a competitor, like obviously, as a natural bodybuilder, that's really difficult to keep up with, especially traveling from Cayman to Australia, from Australia
And
to,
you were moving around.
yeah. So it was a lot on me mentally. I was also coaching 9 athletes to get on stage that year as well, too. Um,
Jeez.
yeah, so it's not easy, but I want to bring people up into the sport because I'm not going to be the last one, right? So, you know,
Yeah.
we just have to keep, providing support and guidance to the ones that we see potential in as well too. Because a lot of
So
times, just like the guy told me, like, hey, you should,
that's what I was gonna tell you. So the question I have that guy that kind of encouraged you to start competing, what was his name?
Hugh Cottrell,
You
Hugh
could.
Hugh
Hugh
Control.
Control. Okay, now I was trying to see if I'd heard of him, but
Yeah,
no.
he's been competing for years. So like even he competed in WMBF years ago when even when Sean Clarita was like still, in the
Natural.
circuit, he was
Hmm.
on stage with him at that time too, just to show you
Wow.
how about they go. Um, yeah, and literally that just, changed everything for me. 2024, I went to the British finals. So I won the British finals in the UK. Um,
Hmm.
after that, I went back to Mr. America. Unfortunately, I was not pleased with how things transpired there. But it's a part of the game. And, um, you know, I always, if you want to speak on it, we can, but, it's just something that I was not happy.
That's up to you. We've talked
Yeah.
already,
Yeah.
so I know your take, but
Yeah. Um,
I don't know if you still feel the same way, if
well,
things
I
have
mean,
shifted.
no, I still feel the same way, and I have my reasons, and like just how things then like no, like that was just a big no for me.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just because of how things transpired and like how things were spoken on, and even the aftermath of the whole situation.
There's a way of doing it. I agree. Yeah.
Um, and then after that, I went to the DFAC World Finals. That was in Germany.
Hmm.
I came second there. That was literally a flip of a coin. But the guy there, it was really good. Julian from Germany.
Oh yeah, that kid is.
Yeah, he's
Well, I mean,
crazy. He's
I know
crazy,
he's not natural anymore, but I mean, Jesus.
crazy, crazy, crazy.
Yeah, he is German, right?
Yeah, he's from Germany. Yeah,
Yeah.
physique insane. Literally, it was, that was a really good show for me. Um,
Hmm.
and just to show you, like, there's levels to bodybuilding, and you have all kind of different physiques, and just because you
Structures.
don't win, it doesn't make
Yeah.
you a bad bodybuilder, because at the end of the day, the sport is subjective.
Hmm.
That, the most important thing is that every time you step on stage, you improve. That's what's important.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that's where I'm at now, and then hopefully this year, to get back on stage. That's the plan. I haven't
Okay.
decided on what shows yet, but I'll definitely be pushing to get back on stage.
Okay. Uh, so actually last year, I know I met one of your athletes, and that's how I knew you were coaching some of the guys because I went to DFAC Worlds, and
Oh,
yeah,
Michael,
I think you had two athletes there, right?
Michael and Nico. Yeah.
Okay.
Nico
Yeah.
won the amateur bodybuilding. Um,
Okay.
and then Michael was the lightweight bodybuilder. Yeah, they did amazing. That was actually Nico's first year, like competing. I saw him in the gym. I was like, bro, great physique. I was like, why don't you get on stage? So I just, spilled off that same kind of energy onto them as well.
Yeah.
Now, I thought about it, but I don't know how to relay the whole process of bodybuilding and stuff. I was like, bro, like I can get you there, and he came on board, started prep February, went straight all the way until November. And he did what we were supposed to do. He won the show and came on. He went to Texas first year and won two pro cards, the Onyx Pro card and the DFSC pro card.
Oh yeah. You just get both there, right?
They give you two, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really nice, even if I'm not on stage, I'm still able to like, help clients and people that, fulfill their dreams as well too, like where I once was. So that's a full
Yeah.
feeling for me, seeing.
So like, I know when you were competing, you had a coach, right?
Yeah, so I Vicky McNawn, so she does my diet and stuff for me. Um
Hmm.
the She's amazing. Like it's good to have like a second pair of eyes all the time. Like because you know I took her on 2023. But prior to that I was doing everything, on my own,
Okay.
attention to myself. And
Yeah.
I realized, I need another pair of eyes because like I overthink things during prep.
Yeah.
Just get very confusing and funky, where it's like you think you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing right, but in reality, because of having to train and go through diet and dealing with the process of adjustments and all these things, it's just easier to have someone second that's actually understanding in relation to the direction you're trying to go, to
Hmm.
have them behind you as well too, to make sure you're making the right choices. So um I would I don't recommend most people trying to do a prep on their own for the first time. And the reason
Yeah.
for that is that it can create a good and a bad experience. Bad because just the approach you probably took, probably not the best, or the way you're going about your prep, you might end up wasting time and not getting to actually where you're supposed to be in time for the show.
Yeah.
So yeah, I sometimes it's like you sit down and you realize and you're like, well, if what would it be like not having someone there guiding you, or what would it be like not having someone there paying attention to you? And I am able to actually differentiate and see the difference between, when I was prepping myself versus just having someone there saying, hey, okay, that's good, keep those changes, okay, yeah, we'll adjust here, all right, no changes needed. It just keeps you and gives you that assurance to know that you're moving in the right direction.
Yeah. I'd say especially those last like couple of months when you're
Yeah,
trying to really get tight, like it just I don't know that
you can do.
yeah, that could be objective enough to carry myself the rest of the way. And I also just like to shut my brain off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
makes
because
things easier.
then you just have to just chop and screw, just eat and go, eat and train.
Like especially if you got other life things going on,
Yes.
right? Like you got work, you got your family or whatever else you got going on. It's like you don't want to have to focus on any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But what
yeah.
about you? Are you doing anything this year?
As far as competing, yeah, I'll start competing. I'm doing like a pre-prep cleanup phase.
That's what
Eva
I'm watching now as well too.
Try to get ready. Yeah, I'm going or evaluating coaches right now so I can kind of figure out who it is I want to hire
Yeah,
and then start prep and take my time getting there and probably start sometime in the fall.
yeah,
So August, September timeframe.
yeah. Nice. So you have plans as into like what shows you want to do this year?
Ah, kind of, yeah. So I I'm gonna stay relatively close to where I live. So Texas is gonna be where a lot of my shows are gonna be.
Ended up going to the Worlds as well too. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. If DFAC was having uh their worlds here, then I would definitely push for that. And if I competed last year, I would have definitely gone for it. But with the IFBB doing their natural division,
Yeah,
that's something.
you're
And
interested.
IFBB is just huge in Texas. Like the WMBF isn't really here, so
Oh,
uh,
it's not in Texas at all.
no. I think they were once upon a time, but they're not in Texas
Not in
anymore.
Texas. Wow.
Yeah. So
But
now we're
why
kind of
your goal? Do you want to get on stage to? Do you want to go to Olympia? Is that like a goal of yours?
yeah, yeah. So I'll say this. When I decided to compete, I was just going to compete in or the NPC, try to get a pro card and just see what I could do. I
Hmm.
didn't even I was going to compete in like classic physique, right? I didn't know anything about the WNBF. I didn't know anything about the OCB. I didn't know about any of these organizations.
Yeah,
So I hired a coach, and you start digging into more of the competitive world and go, oh, there are natural federations. There's this one, there's that one,
yeah.
but the other thing is there's so many. It's like everyone's the best, right? So
That's yeah, yeah, according to them. But for me,
yeah.
where I find my pleasure in competing is also like the people like yourself, where I get to meet. You meet
Hmm.
and people, and you create a community, and like that's majority. Like, yes, I go and I'm going there to compete and be competitive and showcase my physique at its best, but you can't take away from the people that you end up meeting.
A 100%.
It's
Yeah.
it's unforgettable moments.
Yeah.
And it's so good to be in a space of like the same people that understand like what you had to go through and where you're at, you know.
It makes a huge difference, right? Like even with like your the people around you, if they're not actually going through it, they can be as supportive as they want to. It's just if you're not feeling it, there's just certain things
Yeah,
you don't
yes,
know. You just
that's
don't know.
that's true.
Yeah, but
Well, I
yes,
hope this so give me a little insight then on like I know obviously we're here to talk about me, but I want to hear like
turn this interview around.
what are your goals for this year? Like what have you achieved already and like you know what are you happy about so far and what you think you need to better this year to be a better athlete?
So the biggest thing for me um, was bringing up my lower body. So the last 2 years, my entire improvement season was really bringing up my legs, and
Because your back, you I don't I've never seen you.
I'm not worried about my upper body at all. My back, my chest, like it
When I was sitting in the crowd with my family and I was like, yo, that dude's back is that's just nah, that's just wild because it's the structure uh
yeah.
is
Uh,
insane. It's insane.
it my so when I started training, there was just I love training my back. Like
Yeah,
it was the first focus of mine when I started creating my physique. So
yeah.
that's obvious today, but like back then, people were like, "Why are why are you doing this? why are you always on the lat pull machine? Why are you always doing rows? Why are you always?" Like, well, so today you kind of
That's
see,
now you know why. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And it's crazy too. Like you'll go through the whole process of like all those years of training, and then
Hmm.
eventually your physique looks a certain way, and you're like, wow, all those years paid off, you know?
Hmm.
Moment
You just
you
don't
realize
know,
it.
right?
Yeah, you don't realize it in the moment, and then, you know, after a couple of years in, it's like you get addicted to the process, and then you're like, whoa, where did this come from? You know? So
Yeah.
especially dieting for a show, like to see your physique at a in a different state, like that's
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 that's the big difference with competing, right? Like I didn't know if I would ever compete, but
yeah,
I got to this point in life where it was just like I don't want to, you know, age out of this and
yeah.
then wonder like, well,
Uh,
yeah,
what
what if I could have done something? What if I could have competed, you know? And I'm glad that I took that step because now natural bodybuilding seems to be picking up and
you know,
becoming a
I
thing.
think
Yeah.
and it's
So
good because you know, especially natural bodybuilders nowadays, like the standard is like insane now. You know, it's like the question sometimes like, bro, are you on something? You know?
dude, the Europeans in this damn conditioning, it's I'm like,
It's
my God, like
it's,
it's
it's
not supposed to be an easy process, right? But like to just see, especially like, well, I guess all of Europe, because I see UK, Germany,
so my style of diet
Spain.
where I got that side of how I diet is where I got that from. So
Hmm.
I started that's my diet regimen, you know, high carbs, heavy compounds, and like that's how most Europeans go about their dieting as well.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah. It's beautiful to see though, because like natural bodybuilding is I think it's the conditioning side that people would talk about most, but like now you're seeing that combination of like size and conditioning
Size
that
and conditioning.
it's making a huge difference.
And
So no, go
sorry,
ahead. No,
so
go ahead.
a lot of times too, you'll also see in relation to the size aspect of things, like a guy might not be the biggest, but his conditioning is like on point, you know?
Nuts. Yeah.
So it's like people are now playing their strengths versus trying to just be the biggest guy on stage, you know,
So I do wonder though, like how many how many people are being held back by that?
in relation to the
To
size.
their to their overall growth over time, right? Like if you're just playing that conditioning game and you never really give yourself time to
So
grow.
that is true as well too, because then you probably have that set in your mind that I can just play the conditioning game, and then that way now you're actually taking away from how you should be training and eating because you'll just
Hmm.
well, I'll never get big, so I'll just go and um play the conditioning game for every show or every time I step on stage, you know.
And I don't think it's such a big deal when you're like later in your career, but like for the kids, like those early, or late teens, early 20s, or even through your
It's-
20s, like if you're just playing a conditioning game all the time and you never ever push your body weight at all, like how much are you growing?
yeah, exactly. So what's the point? That's true.
Yeah.
You know, so for you, like, what do you feel like you have to improve on? Apart, I know you said your lower body, but are
hmm
you happy with your posing? Are you happy?
Posing's another one. It was I wasn't the most flexible individual.
This as a bodybuilder.
And even as an athlete growing up, I played everything. And I was never really flexible. I was a power athlete. Everything I did was based on the fact that I was extremely strong kid, and I'd power through things. I didn't want to have to move too much. So I just, push through, whether it was football, soccer, baseball, whatever it is I played.
And you were
Um,
all of them?
was I good at all of them?
Yeah, or you were just,
No, I was
oh,
okay. I was okay. I was okay. I was probably the most decent, and then powerlifting. And I
powerlifting.
became a powerlifter because all I'm doing is you know throwing as much weight as I can on myself and
Yeah.
moving it. And it's like,
So,
okay, I don't have to move a whole lot. I just drive through this weight, you know. But yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the point we were getting to.
oh, you were talking about your improvements.
Yeah. So, um, conditioning's an interesting one because I still don't. I got pretty well conditioned, and I want to figure out if if there were like is it because you get to a certain level of conditioning and like you're just missing certain areas. So was it
Yeah.
lack of muscle or was it that I did need to tighten up more in these places,
Uh,
right?
in relation to conditioning, when you are speaking conditioning, obviously conditioning comes down to, you know, how lean or how ripped or your physique
Mm-hmm.
too, right? So it's not because of the lack of muscle, it's just the approach that you're taking with your dieting. Because what happens, like a lot of athletes, they believe taking carbs out and low carbs and stuff is actually the way to go. That actually takes
Mm-hmm.
away from your conditioning, and then also, not carbon up properly for your show. That
Deflates your
so
muscle.
you take away
Yeah.
a lot of detail in the body.
Mm-hmm.
During prep, like I'm eating, between 500 grams of carbs a day. Coming down, my lowest is probably like 350. So it will range just depending on how I train and stuff.
Wow.
And then it will get altered and changed depending on where my physique is at that point as well. Even when I coach athletes, like that's something I'm good at. That's my strong point. Like you'll bring your physique and I'll help you develop, your weak points. But it's the
Mm-hmm.
conditioning game is obviously like what a lot of judges are looking for nowadays. Like once you have all the muscle in the world, and if you can bring the conditioning onto that physique, that's it. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it puts you in a position to be undenied, unless someone really brings it, then that's where
Yeah.
it comes in. But other than that, like once you have everything in place, pertaining to like your dieting, the way you're going about your conditioning, especially the structure and when to change and when to pull and remove. That is the biggest aspect, So I'm a big advocate of high carbs, low fat, high moderate protein.
Okay.
It's enough protein, during prep because in that moment you're actually not really building any muscle. You just need to maintain
Sure.
everything that
Yeah.
you already gain. So for you to keep your physique to a certain point, you need to have the fuel to be able to train. So if there's not enough fuel in your system, then your workouts will start to um get affected because you used to
Mm-hmm.
train a certain way. You'll be deadlifting 500 pounds off season And then during prep, you're down to like 300, 250, that you're
Hmm.
bound to lose muscle, right? So it's to ensure that you keep the carbs in so that you can keep your lifts as close as you can in a deficit whilst also dieting for the show. So that's my approach when going about structuring a client's diet or even
Hmm.
myself as well too.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I agree. It makes sense. So you'd have to, at that point, you're leaning more on your training and cardio is actually,
Yes, and I'm a
yeah.
big believer in even with most of my clients, I don't give them direct cardio. I give them steps. So we'll adjust
Okay,
on steps. So that's less stressful for a client because
sure.
they can get their steps in however they want. They can go walk on the beach, they can go play pickleball, they can go running, they can go jogging, whatever it is, as long as we're hitting that step goal for the day, I'm fine with
Hmm.
it. A lot of times you'll have uh, people like, oh, I have to do a bunch of cardio, etc.
Hmm.
Every coach has their approach, is what I always would say. And no approach is wrong. It's just that, I have just certain ways that or certain beliefs, once the science is there and it actually shows there's proof, it's something that it can't be questioned because if it's done multiple times, then obviously that shows proof that it actually works.
Sure. Have you ever ran into any cases where you have a client who's maybe struggling a bit more to pull down body fat?
Yeah, I've had instances like that. And majority of the time, it's just due to manipulating with food. Either it's the case that their food is too low and they need a metabolism reset,
Boost,
and
yeah.
we'll put them back on the diet after that. So that's literally how, there's, like I said, everyone's different, but it's literally just finding the right approach that actually works for that client and what makes them be able to get, to their goals. I've had clients that are vegan. I've had clients that train women, guys, females, you name it. Um, and it's just being able to understand them as an individual to know
Hmm.
what actually works with them and what isn't working. So being able to actually make those adjustments when certain circumstances like that arise.
So I'm feeling like what I'm getting from this is that probably the most important aspect is probably time.
Yes. So my my best advice, especially when it comes to dieting, start early. The earlier you
Hmm.
start, the better it is. Sometimes clients need longer time to get the body to get down to where it's supposed to get to.
Hmm.
Some clients don't need that time because they're already in a
Leaner.
certain shape. And
Yeah.
that's how you will determine, all right, this client can start, earlier or later. A good way to actually rule that out as well too is to be able to just determine obviously when your shows are and when you would like to compete and then give a realistic time frame as in like is that a realistic rule of thumb to get ready. Um normally the sweet spot for starting any prep is around 20 weeks, 24 weeks out, and then go
Hmm.
there. I know lots of people do 12 weeks and crash
Oh
diet.
no.
Yeah, the longer the prep, the better it is. You're
Those
able to,
spring break diets, right?
yeah,
Let's get in shape real quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then what you can also do as well too, you can take diet breaks. So in the middle of, you can get to a point, I'll give a client diet break. They get a week off their diet, and then they can go and stay within their macro needs, but I'll allow them to eat whatever, but they stay within their allocated macro needs. And
You
then
just bring them up to maintenance usually. Is that what it is?
I'll bring them back up to maintenance, and then I'll allow them to have whatever they want to eat in the moment. And
Hmm.
and then we'll go back onto the diet after that.
Okay.
Yeah. But each client is different. It's just understanding them, and
Yeah.
that they're, getting what they're supposed to be getting food wise and training wise as well. The crazy part about it, so Nico, the guy I trained last year, He
Hmm.
he never trained legs for like 2 years. And the strongest point of his prep
It was just physique.
legs. It was his legs. And they were actually amazed. You know, he was actually shocked to see his physique come up to that. And it's just because I was like, he has the thick veins. I forgot what they're called.
The
Vest. It starts sort of
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
he
can't.
avoided training legs for years. And I was like, we can set your program up where it's a case that we can actually allow you to train legs and not feel uncomfortable or any
What was
discomfort.
it causing him some pain?
I
Yeah.
think the doctor told him that he couldn't because compression down on the legs and stuff like
Mm,
that. But I built his program around it, and his legs literally was the star of the show for him, you know. So it's actually crazy to see, him get on stage and not be his strong point, you know.
yeah.
But in relation to like dieting, a lot of people like to crash for shows and they like to just get on something quick, something that just get them down. And a big problem I see with a lot of athletes as well, they chase weight, right?
Yeah. 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 Instead of
That
body composition.
sort of body composition
Yeah.
used to be
That
a
was a
I
big
would
lesson
that
for
was
me.
a big problem for me too, because even when I did Mr. America, I'm like, I was like 203 pounds on stage.
Hmm.
And normally when I last competed, when I remember when I first felt good or won my first my pro card, I was 183. But I'm like, bro, how am I not 183? There's no way I'm gonna be ready. And this is I was like, nah, I don't look. I started questioning and started having all kind of thoughts in my mind. And in reality, I was ready for the show. It was just that I was in my mind thinking I'm not, because
Yeah.
of me chasing the scale, and that's where a lot of setbacks happen for a lot of athletes as well. They'll be doing so much and doing everything right, and then just the mere fact of like, yeah, I'm not there.
Scales that were. Yeah. So I actually noticed that too. When last time I competed is like when I reflected on my season and like started looking at my updates side by side, it was like, okay, at this point we lost another 5 pounds. My physique didn't look any better.
It did.
It just kind of,
You said it
huh?
did. It did not.
It did not look any better. No. If anything, it just, you know,
But what do you think?
deflated. It was chasing body weight. At that point, I was pushing to the point where I was kind of losing muscle. But
Yeah, and then you end up ruining your physique.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
and that's definitely not the best way at all. My advice is just I no honestly, the only reason I weigh myself is to just be able to make adjustments to my food. So that's the only, if I didn't have to weigh myself and I could just visually look at, myself in the mirror all the time, uh,
hmm
or in prep, then use that as judgment to make adjustments, then I would. But the number just gives me enough data to be able to make the necessary adjustments to actually make the next choice, as in, okay, what do I have to do next for my updates. So
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I'll be a lot more conscious of that this go around. Even during my off season, this was the first off season I've had where I didn't track body weight a whole lot. I
just
was really focused on body composition and training. It's like, okay, just get stronger, improve your lifts.
and that's
Um,
negotiable. As you see your lifts start to get better as well, that's an
hmm
automatic indication like I must be putting on some new muscle.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
good rule of thumb.
yeah. No, I totally agree. So let's see if I have any actual questions because this is good conversation, a lot of information already. Okay, let's get to the whole Cayman Islands thing. So with you, it seems like how popular is bodybuilding now out there?
Um, well, there was a certain era of bodybuilding years ago, which involved like, Hugh Cottrell. My uncle actually was a competitor as well too. So that generation of guys, they were the actual ones, like, just they had local shows and then they would compete here. And then like a few guys would go off to WNBF or
Hmm.
FAC Worlds and compete as well. Um, the general aspect of fitness is actually picking up. So a lot of people are getting, obviously more conscious
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff as well too. But the sport itself has been growing. It had died for like about 10 years, and then I got up, went and competed, and then it sparked a fire again for the island. So you even have the old guys like, Shh, I need to get back on stage too, da 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 da, so it's like everyone's motivated and ready to go again.
How famous are you out there now?
um well, I'm basically the guy for
The representative, right? Yeah, like,
for bodybuilding here. They have
yeah,
posters and stuff of me on like some of the stores and stuff. So it's good to see, like, the hard work being recognized as well too.
yeah,
So when people say gym, like they think of, oh, Robert, or they say body,
yeah,
okay, that's Robert, so that's a good feeling, to be able to, like, been able to build a name or a reputation for myself
and
around something
and
that
I mean, you're inspiring the whole,
I appreciate that, bro.
the whole population. That's dope, man. I love it.
And it you know how important health is. So like, even if just the things that I do is helping to save someone's life, like, that
Yeah,
matter. I
yeah,
might not
yeah,
know it, but I have clients where, I've made them much aware about the decisions that they're making and for themselves, just personally, health wise, they're making even better choices in their years now compared to what they would have made. Like, I have clients saying, hey, you have me in the store looking at labels. Like, I've never done that in my life, they've making taking a more healthier approach, and it's also spilling off on the rest of their family and friends as well too. So
yeah,
regardless of getting on stage, getting in shape, like that's also like the beauty of being involved in the sport and just being involved in general health.
yeah. And
You
I was actually talking to somebody about that recently about, I love bodybuilding, but like the health and wellness aspect of things, like that's what's really gonna affect the most lives, and that's where you're making the biggest difference.
that's true, very true.
Yeah,
And what I also realized as well too, the influence, you've probably encouraged or seen certain people, like they've gone in a certain place in their life where they felt that that was it, and to see like how, just the mere thought of them seeing what you're doing pulls them out of that. you know
yeah,
I've coached people that have been in like the worst places of their lives, and I would have never known. But they would tell me, after done, hey, thank you. Like, you don't know what this has done for me,
hmm.
help people in so much different ways that you can't even imagine.
I'm
Yeah,
sure that's fulfilling.
it is, man. It is.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So for you, outside of you coaching, like, do you have people, you have your family there with you? Like, who's your support system? Like, who?
My family, but for sure my dad, he is everywhere with me.
I saw that last time he competed. Yeah, that's awesome.
He is at no matter where I'm competing, he's on that plane, he's there with me. He's been there, even at all the sports that I've done. Um, we didn't have the closest relationship prior to, like, after when I finished university, we actually got a lot closer. Um,
Hmm.
big supporter, and he's been there for our family and all the kids and stuff. But we actually created a bond when I got back from school, and then from there it's just been inseparable. It's like he's like my brother. I
Yeah,
look at him as dad no more. So um, he's always there. No matter what. And that goes a long way because, at the end of the day, like, it's to, do the things for yourself, but it's also a good feeling to make the people that matter to you proud, So,
yeah,
and that just fuels me even more to be able to actually, just do everything right pertaining to like bodybuilding and just doing the different aspects that, life throws at you and making sure that you just, take the right approach. Um, but yeah, I would say my dad, man. Like I can't take that away from him. And you have your friends and the people in the gym and stuff. Like that's been a big, big factor, like, for me as well. People are pushing me and reminding me and driving me and just saying like, hey, let's go, So, during prep, it's bro, it's lonely. Like bodybuilding is so
I know.
but one thing you can't take away is the whole aspect of um having people around you that actually care about you doing well, right? You can't get
Yeah.
it's hard to find that like anywhere.
Yeah. Even if they don't completely understand, it's just good to have people who care about you. I'm sure that makes all the difference in the world.
1,000%. 1,000%. Um, yeah, so the thing with bodybuilding as well too, like I like the whole idea of obviously, training alone and just getting to understand myself because it teaches you so much, right?
Yeah.
Who you are. It helps you build patience. It helps you be resilient. It actually helps you just find direction in life. Because actually, initially, I was in the corporate world and bodybuilding opened up doors for me. Me competing, it turned me into a coach. After
Yeah.
a coach, it made me open a gym. After that, and I built a successful personal training brand from all of that. So like things that I've never imagined to happen for me, like just getting on the stage actually opened those doors for me. I'm forever thankful because it changed my life in like many ways. That's when with competing, like it's not just about the stage anymore. It's literally about like the variables or the things that get presented to me to, make me either be a better person or the doors that it opens for me. It could be for me or my family or my loved ones as well too. Um, yeah,
So
it's a story that is hard to explain until you actually go through it.
no, yeah, I agree. And I think that the biggest piece of this, especially for someone of your caliber, is as you climbed up, you blessed others. You found a way to give back. And I think that's what this is,
Exactly.
what this should be. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And I don't know about you, but I find it hard to not compete because like the challenge. I like the idea of just getting on stage, and I think that actually helps me keep my mind in check, especially with all the other variables that I deal with, work, clients. It just has me focused and in space. Like just having a goal in general, that's something to achieve. If I'm not
Yeah.
competing, I feel like when I go to the gym, I'm like, why am I here? But then I have to remember it's also for mental health and longevity. Like, you can't
Yeah.
be forever. So that's like another thing I had to actually work on to shift out of because I felt like I always had to be on stage. And, I had to remember like, yes, you can do it for as long as you're able to, like, but bro, you're gonna eventually, need to stop, and focus on a lot of other things or prioritize a lot of more important variables in my life and then
Yeah.
realize that bodybuilding was just a part of my story.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll, I mean, at least, at least for the natural side of things, I just don't see the point in making it like your
Life.
your everything. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's I mean it can have its own beauty, but I think it can be sad. Like if that's all you have and all you know, it's
Yeah. No lies told. The thing is, and then especially for the natural bodybuilding side of things, um, in reality, like you have to love the sport because you're not doing it to make $1 million. Like you open up doors and
yeah.
opportunities for you, but what you give or what you spend is you don't get that back.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's other ways to be able to, better your life with the sport, you know. So
Yeah.
whilst you're in your prime and you're competing, you know, build a business, start personal training, start online coaching, start
Hmm.
up a clothing brand, try to connect with some companies to be able to, you know, land a deal with them or have them send you free clothes, supplements, just to
Hmm.
better your life in some way, you know. So, you know, there is pros to competing, a lot of pros. So it's just being able to find which one of those like belong to you, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. And I also think that, it's how much are you willing to give to the sport, if you want to get that get back as well. Because I think some people want it easy as well. So it's like you can't have high expectations and not like love
yes,
this.
that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
the situation, well, this is leaning to more as a competitive side. So like I feel like, you know, if I, you know, wanted to go to the other side, I would do well, you know. But that's not a goal of mine, you know. At the end of the day, you know, it's gonna always be general health, just being in shape and just being able to be around to do the things I'm supposed to do on a day-to-day, the regular movements and things I'm supposed to do on a day-to-day basis. And that's another because people was like, oh, why you don't go and try and do Olympia and this and that? I'm like, do you see those guys like,
yeah, they don't
so,
like
you know?
it
And
doesn't look like it. Man, so when I found bodybuilding, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, these guys are great, but I didn't aspire to be that big. I thought bodybuilding was like an art contest.
yeah,
I was wrong. But that was my approach. I was like, I was like, oh, you can build this thing with your body. That's beautiful, and you start running into people that are kind of on the other side of the sport, and like the mentalities there is just it's just a different way of thinking that I didn't fully agree with. But still, it's a lot of great people there too. It's just like the risk you're taking, especially when you're younger and it's like you're not seeing the full picture of life. A lot of them come back and regret it.
yeah, that's true. Like, look at big guys like Ronnie. Look at like they build empires and stuff with like bodybuilding, and like, yes, they, you know, they've left a huge impact in the world, but like they can't do what they what all the
Yeah, you can't. What is the term? Like reap the rewards fully.
arts.
Yeah,
I'm a guy once I like I said I get into involved into a certain sport or I'm extreme. I need to be the best. I need to be up there. You know,
hmm,
I don't want to just go and compete and just be another number, you know. I want to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
No,
that's why I'm avoiding going to that side of the realm, you know. And
for sure. Yeah,
it can open up doors for a lot of us, but it's just that I just don't want to, unfortunately, in my opinion, dig an early grave for myself because I know what
yeah,
comes, you know. So yeah,
yeah.
I like
And
watching
that,
it and seeing, you know, the guys' crazy muscle and physiques and stuff like that, but it's just not for me, man.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm the same way. I can enjoy it up to a point, but it's not for everyone. But I want to ask you, so as far as like advice when it comes to finding a coach, what would you say are some of the biggest red flags, things that people should avoid?
Um, so when looking for a coach, in my personal opinion, I would ensure that, you know, the coach has a good background in relation to whatever it is that you are trying to achieve, you know, so a
Hmm.
resume actually speaks volumes, you know, because anyone can sell you anything. And the worst thing is for someone to sell you hopes and dreams and not being able to back it, you know, because at the end of the day, you can get a coach, but then you'll probably question as in like, okay, does this actually work? Because he has nothing to actually show for pertaining to um, you know, his testimonies or anyone he has worked with. Um,
Hmm.
Everyone's approach is different, obviously, when, competing or just general fitness, but it's just being able to have a coach that actually, cares about your well-being, cares about your goals as well too, not just focused on the monetary aspect of, just having you as a client, but actually
Hmm.
getting you to where you're supposed to be. I'm very passionate about fitness and bodybuilding and just, personal training and coaching clients. So at the end of the day, like my goal is to get you to your goal. And, that will allow me to now build more testimonies for myself. Um, most times if a coach doesn't have a roadmap for you, that's a big red flag. Um,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
no roadmap and they promise you that they can get you there and you don't even know how we're gonna get there, then that's something that I would, personally avoid. And it's just because it allows you to not have to waste time. Someone can't sit down and lay out and show you the phases or the blocks that we're going to go through for training and for dieting and when we're making adjustments. That's something that for me, I would see that as a massive red flag because it's like you can't build a house without an architect. So if I don't show you a plan, how am I going to see what this house is actually going to look like?
Hmm.
Provide the plan and we create map out as the architect and the plan doesn't match what we said and I did everything that you told me that we were going to do, then we have a problem because I did everything that you said. This is not where we're supposed to be. So then you put yourself in a position to be like, okay, I'm not the problem. Probably the coach doesn't know exactly what he's doing, So having a plan before even beginning anything, explaining and understanding where we're going is always going to be the biggest factor when it comes down to actually having a coach. And then having one that understands you and that you can build a relationship. You don't want to just have a coach and just not being able to have your personalities don't match. It's going to be
Yeah. Yeah.
certain things you want to speak to the coach about that you're probably personally going through. You don't know how to speak to them about just because you feel like they don't understand you. So,
Hmm.
trying to just feel out personalities as well. And sometimes people grow onto you, like, you end up growing into each other's personality and then it works. Uh,
Yeah.
but for me, the biggest red flag is not having a plan. No structure. It's like leading a headless chicken into a wall. Like it doesn't work. So um, if I went to a coach and they can't tell me where we're going and how long I actually need, and to me that's like a no. I'd rather not. And it's not
Yeah.
that they're a bad coach, it's just that their approach doesn't work for me personally, because I need to see where we're going before we actually get to where we're going.
I think that's great advice. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And another red flag, for example, like say that you get a coach and you have certain variables in place like check-ins. You have check-ins, you have where, you have touch point calls or adjustments are supposed to be met and stuff. And if you're seeing a lot of inconsistency in that area, then obviously you know that the well-being of your success is not in his hands or her hands. It's not a case that, well, life could be happening as well too, but at the same
Sure.
time, that has to be communicated as well. Because I'm spending my money, I'm putting in the effort, so I'm expecting the service that I paid for. So you
Hmm.
want to ensure that that is being met, and if the whatever service you're paying for is not actually being met, then now you have to question whether or not does this person actually care about my success. So
Hmm. Yeah. That makes total sense. So how would you advise coaches that build trust with their client?
so normally for me, what I do is I'll do a consultation with a client first, instead
Mm.
of just going straight into onboarding. That's one thing I see a lot of coaches do. They sell the product before actually consulting or
Talking, yeah,
much. You can then, as a coach, determine is this person and myself, or is someone we can mesh, or is the personalities off? Is someone that I feel is ready to actually make serious changes based on my system and what I have in place, and then even explaining to them, you know, the system that you have in place, and trying to see if that is something that they can see
like
that actually link with you to see if you can get to where you're supposed to be getting to. Because like I can say, hey, to you, like, hey, I can help you lose weight, gain muscle. But it's like, okay, well, I might have a system that you might think I can't do that. It's too much.
Yeah.
So it ends up taking away us wasting time. And also finding a middle ground in relation to what works for both of us versus what only works for me or only works for you. Because if it doesn't match or it doesn't link, then we're gonna end up, not going in the right direction at all. Um, so yeah, I would advise coaches to, do a proper consultation with your clients first. Understand your client, where they are in their life, what they're trying to achieve. And sometimes a lot of coaches, they will see a client, they hear what they're saying, but understanding what they're going through and where they're actually trying to get to. There's certain needs that they're going to need, but you as a
Hmm.
realize that as well too. Like I had clients that, during prep, they're getting emotional, like they're crying, like guys, girls, and I have
Hmm.
to be instead of me saying, man, suck it up, you can have a funky day, but in that moment they need you, in your head,
Yeah, yeah.
this person's only paying me for diet and training. Like why are they calling me and telling me that they're depressed or down, but you need that enforcing, you need that backbone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
definitely just being able to understand your client and their needs, and then that way now you can um put mesh things a lot more better, especially to see if the client is a perfect fit for you.
yeah. No, I think that's perfect. Um, so what's next for you?
So currently, I am so when you say next, you're relating to
Eh,
just general.
everything, just life.
So yeah, I'm actually trying to start a meal prep business here. Um,
Okay.
so that's the
Entrepreneur, man. You're going after it all. I love that.
yeah, I the market is untouched in Cayman.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't understand what they should be eating, how much they should be eating. So if that's an issue or a problem I can fix or solve, like why not? Uh,
Yeah.
I personally feel like it's something that can also help with the other variables apart from just training clients. They have clients that, they probably don't, they do other sports and stuff, but just understanding, how to eat and stuff is going to help them be better in whatever it is that they have interest in. Not everyone's going to love the gym or want to be in the gym. But, there are people that want to continue to take care of themselves.
Yeah. Just improve their life in general. Yeah.
Um, and for me, that's next. So the meal prep company, I did go do trials at it. It just had some hiccups there, here and there. So I'm going at it again. And as you see, I'm not a guy, I don't give up, so
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
going at
What are you starting out of? Are you like doing it at home
no,
or
no,
like
it will be out of a kitchen. So I'll have a
uh
chef and everything already. So
okay.
it's just being able for them to understand the direction of where we're going and what we have to do, you know. And understanding obviously your client needs and the variables, understanding macros and calories and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just rebuilding or building that branding phase again. I wish it will go well. I'm a very optimistic person, so it's not something I
It's just it's time, right?
plug and play in time, So
Yeah, yeah.
um yeah, that's next. This year, if I do get back on stage, I want to go and win some more.
You can't say if.
But when
Well,
I get back on stage, I want to go, take on, some good competitors as well. I love competing, man. Like it allows me to express, my hard work. It allows me to express myself as a bodybuilder. Um,
yeah.
in a less like, in a how do you explain it? In a less aggressive way. You know,
Hmm.
say in the gym, we train hard, we go through all this and then have to go on stage and be so like elegant or
Hmm.
display yourself in a way that is just it's not matched to what we do in the gym, but it brings a sense of calmness and peace, you
So
know?
they say bodybuilding is the perfect balance of sport and pageant,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
But yeah, getting back on stage this year, taking on some new bodybuilders, probably some new shows, being able to meet some new friends as well too. Like I said, that's a big thing for me because obviously on the island here, like I'm helping a lot of athletes and coaching them and stuff as well. But
hmm
the idea of going overseas and just being able to represent from a very small island and make a lot of noise is a big thing for me, because our island is small. The bodybuilding here is not the biggest, but it's becoming to be like a thing here, They're having worlds here, shows are coming here again. People are getting into the sport, and it's obviously because of the
Is
influence.
it DFAC Worlds?
Yeah, they're doing default worlds, not this year, next year.
Oh, in the Cayman Islands? Oh, wow.
Here it's gonna be in Germany.
Okay. Okay.
So default rules will be in Cayman 2027. Um, so the sport is growing, and I can't imagine not being a bodybuilder. Like I'm sitting and I realize like, what would I be doing if I wasn't bodybuilding? And even when I'm not
Yeah.
competing or not eating and training, like I feel lost. So it's like you kind of not lose your purpose, but it's like, yeah, you're missing something, like something's missing. And then as you get back
Yeah.
and you start eating, everything just starts to make sense again. It's weird, man. And
hmm
yeah, so the meal prep business, bodybuilding, um, probably looking to do some like expansions with the gym and stuff as well too. So we're in
Okay.
talks about that as
Like
well.
a new location or just making it bigger?
New location. Yeah. So
Nice.
that as well. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have for myself this year. And you know, I'm also now getting, more familiar into like other avenues of business as well too. Because I naturally I have the entrepreneurial mindset, but just
hmm
I like to dabble in, different things because multiple streams of income is always gonna be better, So
Yeah.
yeah, seasons where this one does well, that one is slow, so you have it, they just end up,
Other things to lean on. What's your circle like? Do you, especially being in the Cayman Islands, because there are a lot of business folks out there. Have you met like a lot of different types of people from different places?
for sure. So most of like I used to go out a lot and party and drink and doing living life.
Yeah, yeah,
So being in the gym and stuff now, like you kind of that lifestyle is not this it's not for you anymore.
yeah, yeah.
So majority of the people I hang around are like mostly like coaches, people in the gym, close friends and family that are in the whole business aspect of stuff as well too. I do have a lot of friends that are actually their own business owners as well. So the shift in dynamic of who I spend my time around is has changed a lot. It's just
hmm
lifestyle shifts I've made for myself personally as well. I also feel um, that that has put me in a better position networking wise because it also opens up doors and opportunities for other things that I probably wouldn't have been exposed to. Um,
Yeah.
and for for me personally, like your network is your net worth, so if you hang out with a bunch of waste men or people that don't have a direction in
hmm
their life, you end up being the third one, so that's not my
Yeah.
goal. uh,
Yeah.
and the beauty of that is here on the island is very small, so you're able to locate and pick and pull and pinpoint who is who and literally
hmm
there. That's what I feel that has actually put me in a better position, even for the gym, mentally, just understanding, surrounding myself by, different groups of people are pertaining to what I have interest in as well. So whether it's business or just competing or just, general fitness and health.
Hmm.
Um, and then on the island, like I said, the idea, well, the whole perspective on fitness has been growing. So a lot more people are able to have these conversations that you probably wouldn't have been able to have prior. They would think you're weird or why you do
Yeah,
that. So now they understand, which is really good.
that's awesome. So you're building, you're or helping to build that fitness culture and leading it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So where can people find you?
So my Instagram is Robert Jr. underscore fitness. And that's normally where I would, be able to connect with clients or being able to connect with friends and family and stuff as well. Um,
Okay.
and I have a fitness brand, my personal training brand is called Absolute Fitness. So that's been in the runnings now about the 7 years now, actually. Yeah, I actually left the corporate world 2000, well, no, 6 years. So this June will be 6 years. So 2020, I left the corporate world, decided to just, go full time into fitness. So it's this year, wow, 6 years already. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, so that's pretty much where I do all my coaching and being able to help clients and help people, in
okay.
relation to whatever their goals are. I like to work with serious fitness competitors as well as um, fitness competitors and as well as what's it called, high performing individuals, so like entrepreneurs, like people that are busy and have like crazy lifestyles. I'm able to help them situate their life and involve fitness in a way that it doesn't feel like it's taken over their life, but it actually helps them become better individuals and also help them to perform better in their jobs and being able to
Creates full systems for them that yeah, that benefit what they do.
their system is revolved around what they do and
Yeah.
actually helps them to be able to get to make better, well, perform better in whatever avenue of life that they're, directed in, whether
Yeah.
it's um they're an entrepreneur or a lawyer or partner, they have very demanding jobs. So it just gives them clarity and direction, so
Hmm.
that I know that field or that area is a very popular one. So that's been my direct focus. Um, you made a comment earlier, which you're actually true. The reason I haven't been as active on socials because I'm rebranding and doing over stuff. So I'm actually
Okay.
creating a YouTube channel for bodybuilding. So I'll be showing my whole journey, how I go about things, who I am, and building that. Then I'm also restructuring my personal page as well too. So it'll be
Okay.
around like coaching and also like my bodybuilding stuff. But I'm trying to take away the idea of yes, my page is for bodybuilding, but at the end of the day, I am a coach as well, right? So I don't want
Okay.
to become a personal diary versus like, hey, I can help you kind of thing. So that's where I'm
Hmm.
structuring.
To help continue to grow your business.
Exactly. So like people will
Yeah.
come to the page and they'll see my physique and be like, oh, amazing physique or crazy. I wish I can look like that, but I need to now restructure it so clients can know that I can get you to that.
It's like I can help you get to this. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's just being able to, uh, just structure the page in a way that it speaks that way versus like,
Yeah.
oh, this guy is aspiring or he's amazing or he looks good, whatever they have in their minds. But you
Yeah.
that too, I can help you get there. And lots of times people will come and they'll see your page and like if it's not structured in a way to offer or sell anything to them, then they'll be like, okay, it's just inspiring, I'll follow it and then see when he posts, etc. But
Hmm.
I want to now give back uh to the bodybuilding scene because I feel like even though I haven't been competing 15, 20 years, like I feel like I've made a huge impact in the short time I've even been on the circuit. I'm being compared to, some of the best nachos, in the world. And that's big, that's
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
not a light thing because as a competitor, like how hard bodybuilding is. Even stepping on stage and you're like went through 20 something weeks of prep and like, oh my God, this guy comes like, oh, you have in your head,
Yeah, it's like what?
one, this guy, like, you go through those phases and stuff, right? So like being able to just be on stage and being able to step and hold my own is a big thing for me because I some there's some really, really good bodybuilders out there,
Yeah.
just even being in the runnings to potentially win the show or place in top three is a big thing. So um it's not as easy as it was before. Like it's the circuit is crazy now. Like you say, you've seen all the guys and the people that are coming up. It's not a joke anymore, and these guys are taking it to the next
And
level.
I'll say this with the, and I think some of the older guys, as the ones that are like active and pay attention to everything, they're fully aware. But
Yeah,
some of the older competitors that aren't really on social media don't know. So you'll hear some of them kind of say things like, "There's no way some of these guys are natural and this and that." And I'm like, I think the pull of genetics is just getting so much bigger because the sport's getting more popular.
it
So you're
is.
gonna you're gonna see a bunch of freaks that would have never touched bodybuilding before.
And it's just like any sport, to be honest. It's like we, for example, like we see, okay, Usain Bolt, LeBron James, and all these players, right? But
Hmm.
the beauty of the natural bodybuilding, the beauty of the natural bodybuilding, nowadays, a platform is there to provide for people to display their athletes. Like there might be people that are better than LeBron, faster than Usain, but to be
Hmm.
able to get them, if they're not going viral or they're involved in some, big track team or someone calling their name, we'll never know who they are.
Yep. Yep.
And with bodybuilding, like just by stepping on stage, like you'll go viral. Just like, oh my God, do you see this guy's physique? And like literally it's all over the place. Like even the other day, um, this one of my friends went to Germany and he was in the gym. He is like, bro, they were over there talking about because I had said, oh, I'm from Cayman, da 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 da. And they were
Hmm.
talking about, yo, this guy there, he has like feathers in his legs, Robert. So like even that, he's like, bro, I went all the way to Germany and they're over here talking about you. So like it just
Yeah.
able to be remembered for like whatever it is. It could be a case that you win in multiple shows. It can be just remembered for your conditioning. You have something
Yeah.
special about your every person has something special about themselves when it comes to
It that's what I think the true, like you built something for yourself, right? It's not, you don't have to be the biggest. You don't always have to be the most lean. It's like, what is this unique thing that you brought to the stage and built for
exactly.
yourself, and hopefully the crowd appreciates it, but it's your thing, right?
It is. And then what I also like too is like no matter how good you are, you always try to pinpoint what is that you need to improve on. Or you'll see like when I no like when you stepped on stage and I saw your back, I was
Hmm.
like, yo, dad, nah, I need to go continue doing some heavy rows and deadlifts and stuff because but I also had to remember that's your genetic build. That's just how your back
Yeah, structure. Yeah,
so but in my head I'm like it already gauged me like nah, I need to keep working harder and harder and harder. So
there's more levels to different aspects, and that's the other thing, right? There's parts, right? So like, I'll see for me, I'll see somebody's legs and just be like, you know, like I think Ryan DaCosta had some amazing legs that year that he won. And I was like, okay, I didn't, you know,
he was
uh,
a
the, the the Julian kid is another one with great legs. Of course, Babacar has, he has pretty good legs.
overall a great bodybuilder, man.
Yeah, yeah, man. There's a lot to pick from, be inspired by, and I'm glad that I, started competing in natural bodybuilding because all I really pulled from was IFBB because that's all I knew, you know. It was like those are the Kevin Levrone, the Sean Rays, like those are the guys. I was like, oh, these are beautiful physiques. I want to build my own
On your own.
version of that. Yeah, yeah, But yeah, the world's changing.
Yeah,
So.
and the sport is growing, so I'm happy to see that as well. And then also the IFBB league is now recognizing like nachos now, so that's a good thing, providing opportunities for like the good athletes now. So
hmm Some people don't like it, but like it's a sign of the times, right? It's like if they're willing to do that,
they're
that tells you what's happening.
realizing the quality is improving, so
Yeah,
not gonna waste time and money to provide a stage or a display for people
yeah,
that don't have potential to actually step on their stage, so
yeah.
and it could be a case of just a money magnet, or it could be a case
I think it's a combination, right? The money would have to be there for them to even want to take that step. But at the same time, it's like they're not going to put just
all
anybody on their grand stages, right? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah. But all right, man. Anything else you want to share?
I know you had some questions for me. I'm happy to answer them. So
We like through conversation we got to most of what I was going to get to. It was a really good. Like you provided a lot of useful information. I mean, I hope other people gain from this, but like for me, I just like learning. So this is
yeah,
it's
so
a part of
um,
why I do this.
yeah, so well, from me, advice, there's a lot of people out there that, want to get on stage and, they never feel like they'll ever be ready. There's never a
hmm
time to ever feel ready. You just have to start. Your journey starts from the day you actually made that decision to, hey, I want to compete. I hear a lot of times clients and people are like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not big enough. I'm not lean enough. But when are you ever? So you
Yeah,
have to realize like it's a process that you need to go through to be able to get to where you need to get to. And if you don't start, then when will you ever start? And as humans, that's the beauty of bodybuilding. Like you'll never be satisfied. Hence why I'm here 12, 13, 15, 16 years later, still in the gym, still trying to improve. I mean, my competitive season didn't start until I was 26, and for some people that's super late. Some guys
for
start
some,
yeah from 2019, um
sure.
just the span of what's that, 7 years, like I was able to build a name in the circuit, and sometimes well, I'm a believer in God, so like I feel like for me personally, like that was my calling, and I just answered, and I just decided to go with it, and then I was always wondered like, what if I didn't actually, decide to compete? Where would I be today? What I was
Yeah,
doing? What would my life be like? Would I be still out partying, drinking, doing all the other, stuff that um serves me no good, or would I be just helping people and providing a platform to actually guide people in the right direction, and being a coach and just being able to help clients is a big factor in me. Seeing my clients get to their goals is where I find pleasure, because at the end of the day, even when you have a business, the byproduct of a business is money, but the what you can't get from a business is being able to provide what you should be able to get from a business is being able to provide very good results and being able to provide the service that a client comes for. You know,
value.
once that value is there, then you're actually able to, a lot of coaches and stuff are very focused on the monetary stuff. Like, yes, we have to survive at the end of the day, but if you know you're doing the right things and you're getting your clients to where they're supposed to be getting, then that's gonna come. That would come in a case where you it uncontrollably, and it's like, wow, I'm getting flushed and I'm getting flowered with a bunch of clients, and then it's like you don't know at that point in time, what do I do?
Yeah, yeah,
It's always important. Just focus on your system, focus on getting your clients to your actual goals. Care about their success. The more you care about their success, the more success you'll actually get with your business as well too. If you don't care
yeah.
about your success, they end up being a magnet to your business. It's like, for example, I've seen some coaches would have clients for years and like they look the same or nothing changes, and they're there investing, 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 and then you keep providing, promises to them that this is gonna happen and this will happen, and they don't know any better, you know. And as a client, well, as a coach, I also advise from a client standpoint, just make sure your coach has a proper system and actually wants you to get or help you to get to your goals, you know,
Hmm.
because it only works if both sides work, so regardless of us being coaches and giving advice to other coaches, you also have to have clients look out for them, their well-being and time as well too. um and a lot of times I also see, well, where like a coach would um, get like a client, for example, and I give them unrealistic time frames when it comes to
Hmm.
where their goals are at, and that actually provides disappointment. So if a client needs 6 months, tell them, hey, you need 6 months. A client needs 3 months, hey, we need 3 months to get to this goal. But it's just being very transparent with exactly where you're trying to get them to go, not just grabbing them because they're ready and it can get a quick buck here and there.
Yeah, yeah.
And you get clients that are actually more serious and actually ready to stick to their goals. Because once you put something like that in place, what do you think is going to happen? Automatically, they're going to be like, you know what? My coach has a system, gave me a realistic time frame. I can work with it, or I can't work with it.
Yeah, and I think some people were scared of that other side of like, oh, that's too long, I don't want to work with this person anymore. But
And you
it's
could also see how serious that client is as a coach as well too. And that's where the
yeah,
consultation comes in as well. You'll do a consult with a client and you automatically can now determine how long will this person actually be with you and how serious they are, so they're
hmm
and it's actually like, okay, it's like I need to get them here by then. Um, and that way now I can now plan and prep for potentially getting a proper testimony or another client from them. I mean, another client through them as a testimony, etc. So my goal as a coach is always going to be, what is the fastest and most efficient way I can get you to your goals so that I can continue to help other people, you know? Because once you provide
yeah,
a formula or a position for a client, and eventually they can take the training wheels off and they're good to go on their own, then that's going to happen. It does happen, but you want, when they do leave you, they're left with a lot of value.
yeah, yeah.
That's important. You don't want,
Because that travels.
yeah,
Like
it does.
yeah,
Be
people
like,
tell
hey,
other
no, I
people.
don't want to train with, no, I don't advise to train with him because XYZ. Like, that's the worst thing, man. Like, and it's not that you're a bad coach, it's just that you need to make sure that you're providing what it is that you say you offer. You know?
Yeah.
So, um, and I've seen that happen very, very often. But as a coach, like I know what it is to, get involved in, you know, business, or, being promised that this will happen or that will happen and then feel disappointed that it actually didn't happen. And it only works if we work. So sometimes it's not always the coach to blame. Like you can actually put systems and things in place where you can actually keep track of client progress. Where I think you had, when you started this like check-in system, and remember, I think something you were trying to launch. Was it?
Oh, yeah, my app. Yeah.
So
So,
that now allows clients to be able to reflect back on exactly where is it that they're at. So it's
yeah.
no, well, you did, this is what you completed and this is where you're at. And this is
hmm
why things didn't actually go to where is supposed to go. It avoids that confusion in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. No, total. I mean, um, anything else you want to share? You can think of?
Yeah. So what is your thought process in like online coaching? Like what are you, well, personally, what is your goal pertaining to?
Let me give you my full scope, right? So, when I first decided to compete, I didn't fully trust the online coaching space.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it. I didn't. For me, I grew up playing sports, right? So a coach is in front of you. Coach is someone you can talk to. A coach is somebody that works with you. I didn't fully understand the online coaching space. So for me, my first hire was somebody that was local, easy to get to. It just made sense for me. But as I started competing and training and growing, it's like you start to study the space more, get to know it, how it can provide value, and that there are some really, really great coaches out there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of them that aren't known. So there's like this gap between people who are just extremely good at marketing and people who are actually knowledgeable and they enjoy being a coach, right? So the app I created, it's a rating and review app. So it
Mhm.
allows people to go rate and review their coaches, kind of give a detailed breakdown of their experience. So
And
coaches can
that,
also, yeah, coaches can also register on there so people can go find them, so they're available to be hired and everything else. But the real point is to just uh show your value, right, as a coach. So the whole super duper crazy marketing aspect, you have to promote yourself in some way always as a business owner, but like there's a piece of this that feels extremely false
yeah.
online. And I know there's a lot of people that don't enjoy that. So I think this is a great way to help people out.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's good, man, because I was gonna say that part of the coaching, that part of the uh coaching aspect was missing, and being able to have like a platform that you can actually go and review a coach and see what
Hmm.
exactly it is that they do even beforehand, so you don't, waste your time to go ahead and
And
try
you
and
you you don't waste the coach's time. Like it's just a it's very easy for both sides. And then if you're interested, you go have that conversation. Like it's
almost.
it's it's
That's
yeah.
true. That's true. And um like for you this year, like do you have a coach personally?
Not yet. So
No.
I had a list that I narrowed down. I'm talking to them and still I haven't made my final decision yet. I have an idea. Um, to be honest, I even considered uh not hiring somebody at first, but I'm aware enough to know that
Yeah.
that's not something I want to do. I know that I have other focuses in life, and when that prep gets hard,
Yeah, you need someone to take
yeah,
care.
I need that. Like
And then
in the importance of building a team around you, I think is just it's not talked about enough. It
sure,
helps out so much.
it's not something that you can put a price on,
Yeah.
having a proper support system, whether it's your partner, whether it's your, someone just being able to just be there, as well. Just the mere thought to even having a partner, like, help prep food or just take
Hmm.
away some of the strain, on you, and especially a supportive one, it goes a long way. Like you don't realize it, but it goes such a long way. And that's
Yeah.
something that, is underlooked and should be admired, because they don't have to do it, but they choose to because they actually care about your progress, and
Yeah.
well, um, but yeah, what I was gonna say in relation to your some tips that this is from personally from me to you for
Sure.
your physique, and this is just from um my experience.
Your personal evaluation. Yeah.
So your physique is very good, right? You have a very, very lots of muscle. You're not missing that at all. You know,
Yeah.
if you can um be able to sustain that plus bring conditioning, like, and your posing is like perfect. You pose well. I've like I said, I before I even met you, you were one of the standout guys I was looking at when I was sitting in the crowd, and obviously that speaks volumes, because
Yeah. I
I
appreciate that.
yeah, I've traveled to Germany, America, all over. I've competed all over the world. So it's hard to be able to pinpoint physiques and be like, yo, that guy is good, you know.
Yeah.
unfortunately, that's why even when I did Mr. America 2024 or 5,
The year after? Yeah.
that's why it was a joke. I'm like, what is this? You know? And that's just my personal opinion. But if when those guys are, you come over to Europe and see what you have to step up against, it's not
Yeah.
a playing game. It's not a joke, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, in that aspect of things, that's where I felt heavily disrespected in a way, and not putting nothing against the guys, but it's just like in my head, I'm like, nah, bro, that's not
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm a fair competitor, but if someone's good, I'm gonna say yeah. But yeah,
I will ask you this. Were you satisfied with your look?
what my 20,
24.
hell yeah, that's the
Uh,
best I've ever been. Like
that hold your head high, man, because
that's why
you're an incredible bodybuilder. You know that.
I can't take away, but it, for me, it's just how things went about. Things
Yeah.
weren't done right. There was like, oh, can I just speak like
Yeah, yeah, no, no, yeah. I
so,
mean, it's me.
so
Yeah, I can even cut that. I can even cut this out if you want me to.
bro, I was bribed after the show, asked to like for them to pay for my ticket and the other competitors to make sure I come back to Mr. America. Like, bro, I don't think you understand. Like, I haven't even not show, I haven't even been paid for it yet. Um, and
For the Mr. America?
it's been 2 years. Mark hasn't paid me. And
Holy
I messaged
crap!
him. He hasn't sent. He reads the messages. He doesn't
It
respond.
doesn't respond.
So it's not a good taste, and I've done nothing wrong.
Yeah,
I spoke on how I felt. Even when I stepped off the stage, the girl in the back with the mic, she was crying. She was like, she told me sorry that they did this to me. She literally looked me in my face and said that to me when I got off the stage. And it's because they were trying to keep the narrative of Mr.
Mr.
America.
America, being an American.
And when I did they flew me out to that year to come to do they did some video shoot with all the winners and whatever from 2023. I have yet
Mm,
to see that. They didn't post mine up or anything to do with me. They only posted the girls and stuff like that. So automatically it already showed me like their whole headspace in relation to where it was at. And then Mark met with me Sunday before I left. He's like, "Can you meet me at Expo?" I told him, "No, I'm going back to New York." He's like, "No, I really need you to meet." And then we met, we sat down. He was there, he was crying. So I'm like, "What happened?" He's like, "Bro, like I've seen physiques and like this is one of the best physiques I've ever seen on Mr. America stage. Like I've been in bodybuilding in a very long time, and it hurts his soul to know that this is what happened." He said, "Did you see when I got up and came up on the stage?" So I told him, "Yeah, why?" He said he went up there to tell them that the markings were incorrect. He's like, "Don't you see you were in the middle of the stage literally the whole night?" So I said, "Yeah, I realized that." And in my head, I had it like, okay, that's it. And he was like, well, he went to go and tell them the markings were right, and they turned up the national anthem louder so that he couldn't speak.
because that's the thing. I don't. I know he runs it, but I don't know if he's.
So that year, when he did it 2023, it
Hmm
was him. After that, he had a hire. There was some new people coming in.
Investors and other.
Why the
Yeah,
production changed because literally the next day, the guy that won was in the office of the mayor and got the key to the city. They're not gonna give that to a Caymanian guy that come like that's impossible. And no
yeah,
one has actually won it back to back. I would have been the first non-American to win Mr. America back to back. That ruins the narrative. Do you understand?
yeah.
And even the guy that won in 2016, what's his name? Um uh
Jamaican.
yes. He that's why he
Siobhan.
Siobhan Cunningham.
Yeah, yeah,
He messaged me. I have him on Instagram for years. That was the first year he messaged me since I've been bodybuilding. He said, "Bro, if you lose tonight, it's because it was politics. He's like, you brought something this year that I have not seen in a very long time, conditioning wise, symmetry, shape. And he's like, I don't, he don't talk to no one because he's just in his own little world, bro.
Yeah.
This man reached,
Yeah.
was like, yo, go and collect what's yours. He's like, if you lose tonight, I already know why. And he messaged me that before I even got to, I was in New York driving down and he messaged me that and I didn't even I wasn't on stage yet. You know,
Yeah.
that happened to him in 2016 too. And Mark did a whole video saying, "Oh, we're paying for everything for Cunningham. Will he come back?" He never competed since because he was like, "Why am I doing all of this?" And like, this is what's happening to me. That's why he quit the stage.
Especially during that time. Like natural bodybuilding was there was nothing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the guy that actually got the winning or won that year is because he had a big supplement sponsorship. The guy that he owned some big supplement company.
Yeah. With Doug Miller's company.
So,
Yeah.
it's sad, at the end of the day, but I told him, I said, bro, like I was happy with how I looked. It's just it hurts because it's like that we go there to win. We go there for the medal. We go there for, being able to add that to our collection, saying I did that, you know. That
Yeah.
year, I was upset, yes, because that was a year I was like, yeah, no way in hell that this is supposed to go the way it did. And then even if the owner is coming to me after and telling me sorry and he's gonna pay for everything and begging me to come back, that if it was the case that things were done politically right, that wouldn't have happened. Like, why are you reaching out to be to for me to come back? And I didn't even make a noise or complain or fuss. He already knew what happened.
Yeah.
And even just after stepping off the stage, having the lady in the back literally there, she's literally there crying and telling me sorry. Like literally looking at me and telling me sorry. Then I came off the stage, went to try to go to the judges. They saw me come in, they all walked away. It's so crazy, man. But bro, it's part of the
Yeah, that's the one thing with, and it's not just it's bodybuilding in general. It's not obviously not just natural bodybuilding, right?
happens.
Uh,
My
so
dad
so
was
I
mad than me actually.
you're what?
My pops was more upset. He was like,
I was out up, dude. I can't imagine. I'm sure he probably wanted to.
yeah, he was more mad, man. And
Yeah,
that year, like, even the year when I did the first time I did Mr. America, the um the guys in my opinion were like really good. They had the guy from Natural Olympia. I forgot his name. And then they had another guy that won Mr. America before. That's married to that girl that competes, petite powerhouse, her husband. Um, Probably know them if you see them. But
yeah. Another faces. Yeah.
but the guy, they were good. They were good, and I wasn't even at my best at that. But
Hmm.
that year, like no, bro. Like I know for sure I brought it in 2024. I know that for sure. And then when I went to Germany, that's where I was. My Pampers was full over there because I was shutting myself up. I'm like, bro, all these guys are on point. Every single guy is on point. And I had to realize, like, yo, I'm on point too. So
Yeah, you're there. You're in the mix, man.
you don't see,
Yeah.
right? You know it, but you see the guys and you're like, holy crap. And that's actually what edged me in the final with Julian. He came with good conditioning and he had more muscle, but I brought
Yeah.
better conditioning overall, and I had good muscle, but I'm not the biggest guy, but
But you're balanced.
yeah. And
Yeah.
that's where the flip of coin came from, what changed made the decision between me and Julian,
Yeah.
so and that's what I like about bodybuilding. It's not, oh yeah, I have to be the biggest guy. I just play your strengths.
And that's how and that's the other reason why I prefer natural bodybuilding, right? It's like the size game don't like seeing somebody who's just seeing like a really really nice physique and then seeing somebody who is just bigger. I'm like I don't.
You don't have a yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, well put together physique looks a lot better than just a guy that's just massive.
Yeah.
the aesthetics of the physique is really appealing versus just seeing someone just huge
Hmm.
on the and don't get me wrong, I don't mind watching like Olympia and stuff like that, but when I see them, it doesn't like jump for me to say, hey, let me get on stage or
It
whatever.
doesn't inspire me. Yeah, it doesn't inspire me. Like I'll watch it, but and to be honest, that's why classic physique has gotten so popular. It's because most people prefer it.
For it as well too, you know.
You know?
Even if you look at the bodybuilders now, even in classic physique, some of the guys there, like some of the natural guys can literally go and step on stage. I don't know about C-Bum and those guys, but like I even looked at
Like
like
you're
Eno,
not at you're not out of place at the like even at the Olympia, you're not out of place,
yeah,
right? You may not make top 10, but
can stand up there and hold their own. Yeah, that's
yeah,
that's big for natural bodybuilding as well. Because there's no way in the world, like years ago, I would be able to like. Well, there were some good guys, but they were the guys that stood out. But even the amateurs nowadays, like their physiques are curry. Like some, I went to Germany and to the British finals, and the guys that I saw in the amateurs, I'm looking at them like, what? Like, and they're, in my head, I'm like, when I had just started out, I didn't look like that. So I was like,
yeah,
imagine when they start to get more marinated into the system and figuring out things like what their potential can be, and where they will be in years to come. And these are some young guys. Like there's a guy here back home, well here, and he trains at the gym. He's 21, and literally you see his physique. He looks like a maturity of like a 30-year-old. You
yeah.
see in his face he's young, but he's been training since like 14, and his physique is just it's crazy, and he's like, yo, can I get some advice? I want to compete this year. I'm looking for a coach.
It's like, to give me some advice. It's just like Jesus. Yeah, some of these kids, man.
But I was like, yo, you're doing amazing for your age, man. When I was your age, I was out partying, playing football. Like, I wasn't in the gym, but you're focused, and this is good that you're here. He's like, I need this because this keeps me mentally in check. My mental health is important. You know,
Yeah,
that aspect of things is not spoken on a lot, especially in the bodybuilding field. And I feel like that's something that actually needs a lot more addressing and attention as well, too. Understanding the importance of mental health, during prep and stuff as well. And a lot of times you'll have clients going through certain things, but because they don't want to they don't want to disappoint you, or they don't speak on it, what they're going through in their life, being able to have a coach there to actually support you mentally and also aesthetically is always going to go a long way because they'll get the best out of you, just being able to provide that kind of support. um, Most times you'll have a client and if they stress to their partner, whoever is important to them, like, hey, this is stressing me out, I'm tired, da 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 da. As a coach, I will tell them like, hey, XYZ, let's go, let's get it going. I understand it's just a funk, but we'll get through it. Their partner might say, hey, no, you should quit. I don't want you to be stressed, or
hmm,
I don't want you to be stressed, or not in a good headspace and stuff. So they end up either quitting on themselves, and you wondering why did you quit? So being able to just have those discussions with your clients as well is really, really important. Last year I had coached Nico, Michael, this other guy did transformation. I had four or five girls that I was coaching. One, she won her wellness pro card last year. First time ever
hmm,
competing. I've been stressing to her about competing for like years. Um, Another one did a transformation for a bikini, and then another girl did wellness as well too. And they all did great. Unfortunately, there was like one or two of the girls that gave up midway, and it's just because they couldn't handle, the stress that was happening. And even if you're there providing the support and the guidance and everything, your client actually needs to have the mindset that they want it. Because if they don't want it, that's going to create a problem, when it comes to um, getting them to understand the importance of just sticking to the plan, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll have clients where you believe in them, but they don't believe in themselves, you know, and that's where things fall off a big cliff for you because you're there stressing, trying to get it. Yo, you see your physique, yo, you have potential, and you're there spilling it and speaking it into existence for them. And then they hear
Yeah.
you, but they don't hear you, you know? So yeah, that's important, you know, being able to make sure you and your client are on the same page when it comes to their mental health and the way they're thinking and where they actually are and how they view and see themselves as well too. You know, because some
Yeah.
people still question themselves like, am I doing things right? And they're well on the way of winning their pro card or well on the way of, you know, achieving a physique they'll never be able to would have never been able to see without your guidance, right? So it's important that you are literally reminding them all the steps of the way that we're on track, we're doing well, we're on track, we're doing well, you know, just checking in to make sure everything is on aligned to know that the roadmap that we laid out is actually going to be achievable, you know. So
Yeah.
realistic goals, setting realistic roadmap with realistic goals, you know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I totally agree. That's one of the reasons that you see so many people who touch the sport and uh, they leave after their first attempt.
Yeah.
Like it's something I even when I was in college, I was interested in competing at that time, but
Yeah. What made you get
I
it? You didn't?
huh?
What made you start wanting to compete? Like,
For me, it was just not wanting to go the rest of my life without never trying it, right? So it was later on. Like I didn't compete till I was 30.
oh,
So
how old are
yeah,
you?
no, I'm still new to competing. I'm 34.
Oh, you're 30. Yeah, so you are a year older than me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
I
So
didn't
I'd been training since I was 14. I
14.
started out yeah, so I started lifting for football, powerlifting, track for other sports, right? And then um I found bodybuilding and I just kind of fell in love with it.
Wow. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's crazy. Well, congrats to you, man, because being in the gym from 14, I wish I found the gym then. I was running from the gym. I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't want to get, I guess because I
I
was playing football too, I didn't want to get too like big, right? So
bulky was the idea, right? Like, but
and I
it
wanted to be quick and you know, and then I didn't realize the whole time the gym could have helped me in
yeah.
many ways.
Most of us don't know that, you know, when we're younger. I happen to have people who forced me in the gym at that time. I'll say that. I had friends that would
Forced you.
drag me in the gym. Yeah, until I got addicted. Eventually, I was like, oh, I started, you know, you look in the mirror and you go, oh, something's happening here, right? It's like I kind of like this, and you get addicted.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
No, that's amazing thing, bro. That's amazing work, man. I didn't know it was so long you've been
Y'all, I've been doing this a long time. I just
what
didn't care.
got you into working out? Like why'd you start?
It was just for sports, for other
Just
sports, right? For high school. Yeah.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always nice to hear, you know, people's stories, as in like why'd you get in the gym? And most times it's
Hmm.
like, well, my girlfriend or my boyfriend broke up with
Yeah. Everybody has horror stories. I'm like, my horror story was that I was
me to be
lazy.
better.
My friends forced me in the gym, and I just loved it. You know, it's something about pushing yourself and being able to see the results of that. It's like for me, I guess
Addicting.
when it came to other sports, it was hard to gauge like your progress. With
Yeah,
bodybuilding, you have a visual, you know, thing. So I think that's what it was for me. It stimulated me.
that's true. And because
Yeah.
sports is all relative to like what is it are you a top goal scorer? Did you score a lot of points in basketball?
Exactly right.
A 9.0 in like the track, you know what I mean? So it's like it with bodybuilding, it's continuous progress and you're continuously seeing your improvements as you go, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty of the sport. Like I don't, you know, I never imagined to be here today, you know, being able to, you know, win, you know, certain trophies, just being able to like, you know, just leave some kind of impact or be remembered for doing something positive in the fitness industry. It was just all just to, get on stage, give it a go, and then it turned into, bigger and better things for me.
Yeah.
Now it's just to keep, filling that cup, so and this year is gonna be I think last time I competed was 2024. So
Hmm.
this is gonna be a year that I need to bring it. And the reason I'm saying that is that I can't be no less than I was last time. I in my mind I have to be better. And if I'm not better,
Yeah.
I'm not satisfied, So I have to be better. Or it's not a case that I'm not gonna compete, but it's just a door that I have to open, go in and close the door, and no one has the key to, and just go and find that guy, So that's literally how I go about prep every single time. Like when I start, I just go into a door and close, lock away, and come out
Hmm.
when it's time to actually go ahead and make noise. And for me too, it's like I don't need, everyone's like, oh, do you see who's going to the show or who is competing and da 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 da. And I'm like, I really doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter who's there. I know I did my part and I did everything I needed to do.
I'll say this. I think the same way. Like I'm gonna sh my goal is to show up in my best.
Yeah.
But there's certain athletes since I've become a fan of the sport of natural bodybuilding now, there's certain athletes that I would love to be on stage with,
Oh, so
you
you
know.
will see where they're competing to be able to go and compete at that same.
No, not necessarily. I'll have my own personal list of shows I want to do, right? Based on quality and just my own goals. But if I know that there's an athlete that I like, I really love their physique or just respect something about them, being able to compete against them, or not even compete against them, but compete with them, because bodybuilding's a little different, right? Like to be on stage with them, have those photos, like I it's something I think is really
Something you
cool.
can't, yeah, it is true. And the reason I can attest to that too, like I was saying, years before I even met Nathan, like, you have the natural bodybuilders that you look up to. And he was one of the influencers that I used to follow and like pay attention to and stuff. And then that year when he came and he competed here, like, we connected well. Like he's bro now, so like
Yeah,
kind of like being able to, meet certain people that you aspire to be like or to be, in line with. It's an
yeah,
amazing feeling. You can't get that, anywhere else. Um, and that was his last time he stepped on stage. Who knows when he's gonna step on stage again? But at least I can say, hey, we got to compete. You remember in 2022, we were on stage together, you know,
yeah,
and I lots of time I'll tell him, well, I need my revenge back. It's been what 4 years now. You need to get back. But it's just the love behind the sport as well too. Is really it's really good. We're competitive, but at the end of the day, we have a form of community. We
yeah,
see with everyone, and it's so beautiful to see. Um, not something I admire about when it comes to bodybuilding is being able to be around like-minded people, people that are actually you know understanding what you are going through and what it is that you are having to deal with on a day-to-day basis, because that conversation is not a conversation for everyone, because not everyone understands that. So
yeah. It's such a unique journey.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. But all right, man. Man, we ran through everything. But dude, we definitely got to do this again. I
For
enjoyed this
sure.
conversation a lot.
um
Uh,
this is I'm always down to do is just give me a heads up, and I'll provide myself. And even we can have topics and stuff we can discuss, whether it's dieting, training.
I'm down for that. Yeah, you definitely
It'll be
you obviously you have a really good experience. So it's
it'd
there's a
be a
lot.
good
There's a
avenue as well too to be able to collect data, especially
yeah,
what you're doing, and especially for the coaches, and then if you're gonna provide a platform to be able to discuss people's approaches, this coaching.
Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? Like the platform I built, it's useful to me because it's something I wish existed, right? But the people that I would like to join this platform, it's for them. So like they get to tell me, hey, we would like this tool, we would like this variable, we would like these things talked about here, you know?
Exactly. I understand completely where you're coming from. The,
Yeah.
the the thing is with it as well that I really like how you're actually going about it is that you're not just grabbing data from this coach and that coach, you're actually connecting, understanding them and meeting them and seeing what they're about. So then that way you can create your own, systems and your own layout of how to display that person, on your
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yep.
that's very good. I don't haven't seen anything like that like done properly, so there might be stuff out there, but based on how you're displaying and speaking on it,
Nah, this is a very unique approach.
yeah,
So then I'm taking my time to get there, but I want to make sure it's useful for people.
go as well too. The good thing
Yeah.
about it is that it is something that is missing. So like your your genuine thoughts go into it a lot more. It's not just you capitalizing on an opportunity. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
there has why isn't this in place? And then you just know exactly, what to offer and how it should look and how it should operate as well, So
Yeah.
so,
All right, bro. I'll I'll actually when I edit this thing, I'll get back with you
yeah,
because
no
we'll talk about that Mr. America part if you, we'll see how you feel during that time. But it was incredibly insightful for me. So
yeah. And then
I
like I said, whenever you want to get on a call, just give me a heads up. We can have a chat. Like I said, it can be related to whatever topics if you want to speak on diet approach or training approach. We can discuss that as well too, or like how I structure even client programs and stuff like that,
hmm
and roadmaps and stuff. So
yeah,
yeah, happy to be able to give back because you can't. Yes, all the information is good and valid, but if I can help other people
give
get
specifics. Yeah, yeah. So people know what's legit and what's not. So yeah, cool,
sounds good.
bro.
All right, man.
All
Thank you.
right, man. Yeah, you take care. Appreciate you.
You too, bro.
All right, take care. Later. Bye.